Hey guys, this is Tyler Zombro with Tread Athletics, and today I wanted to touch on the topic of supination / bicep bias and really how we need to go about training, assessing, and evaluating this. So something that I've thought about a ton recently, and something I feel really passionately about, is allowing supination bias / bicep bias in a delivery to really hold its place. So something that I see so much in the developmental sector, coaching, throughout all levels of baseball, from high school, college, pro ball, minor leagues, big leagues. Really, there hasn't been a great understanding of this and really a lack of appreciation for what supination guys can bring to the table. And what exactly do I mean by that? So supination guys in general are going to favor slight supination at release, right? So these are the guys who are going to cut four seams. In general, they're going to spin breaking balls a little bit better, sliders, curveballs, cutters, etc. And then of course they might struggle with things to the arm side. So something we've seen throughout time is a lot of coaches saying, oh, we need to throw a sinker, so let's get your wrist position altered, get you down, maybe get you a little bit better in pronation. Hey, on this changeup, we need you to really get to the inside of the ball. And what happens is you're really trying to alter this individual to something that doesn't fit their body well. And again, there are enormous benefits for supination bias. I personally love supination guys because there are so many variables out there that you can utilize with these guys to create elite arsenals. You look at a lot of the dominant pitchers in the game today, I would say nearly all of them have supination bias, and that's how they throw breaking balls with exceptional velocity, which of course we know, going back to all the inflection videos we've put out, that is of course a very strong indicator of success. So what can kind of happen if you're talking somebody out of their supination bias? So I wanted to talk a little bit about Shawn Armstrong, a Tread athlete who we've looked at in great detail. Army was a guy whose average velocity crept down a little bit, kind of like 92, 93 in that range. This year he's averaging just shy of 96 with his sinker. But Army's been a guy who dominates supination. So he's got the four seam with slight cut and ride. He's got a true cutter that really is a slider in terms of pitch tagging, that he's throwing low 90s. And then of course he has a bigger slider as well. So the problem becomes, what if we tell him to get inside of the ball, to tilt that axis down to throw a two seam? Well, in this case, when he had tried previously, he's now throwing the two seam at 100% efficiency as he's tried to lower his wrist position there to stay behind the ball and get more arm side run. However, with seam shift, if you can get creative in these solutions, you can still create movement to the arm side via supination. So with that in mind, that's what we did with the sinker, which doesn't have a ton of depth, but it can catch that laminar flow and dart arm side. I believe his observed movement right now is about 2 o'clock on that pitch, where the actual spin base is at 1 o'clock. And so why is that so beneficial? Well, first and foremost, you're not changing a lot of the kinematics behind how he throws, but also you're allowing him to optimize velocity, because these supination guys really favor applying force to the baseball in a supination based manner. So if they prefer to apply force slightly on the outside of the ball, allow them to continue doing that, because that's going to enhance velocity, and again with off speed going to create a huge bonus there to have upside on those pitches. So as we better understand seam shift, this applies to changeups as well. I know Devin Hayes, we just had a long conversation about this with one of his athletes who was trying to get to the inside of a changeup over and over. And what you saw was he actually promoted more efficiency on this pitch instead of just staying through the changeup and allowing seam shift to work. So this is a trend in baseball. We know how to manipulate supination for seam shift. Gyro is a good thing. We need to utilize it better. And with these supination guys, again, from high school all the way through the big leagues, don't be so quick to train them out of it. It can be a really beneficial thing. Obviously, if there's health and longevity issues, if somebody's really supination biased or their biceps really dominant in terms of how things are working at the elbow joint, we can kind of adjust from there. But in general, don't coach these guys out of supination. It can be a really powerful thing. See if that's naturally how they apply force to the ball, and take that and run with it. So supination is a good thing, gives you a lot of options with how to go about an arsenal. Again, with off speed and velocity, it's a huge bonus. And at the end of the day, you don't want to derail a guy's career by getting him out of how he best applies force to the ball. So keep that in mind when you see guys cutting balls that favor supination. it's a good thing at the end of the day. So I hope you guys found this video helpful and hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.